All right. So the underlying energy is the Page of Swords. This is talking about some blunt truth needing to come out, has been communicated, some straightforward conversation, some non-beating around the bush. Look at that. What's underneath there? The Four of Wands. So potentially about where this relationship is, or this in regards to the type of commitment that you guys have currently. Yeah, there's some sort of stability that y'all reach, but I think it's like at a good place to begin talking with, some straightforward communication. But either way, it's still hard to deliver. It's hard to receive potentially. There may be some things that may have been said that probably weren't true, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily that it's not true, because obviously the Page of Swords, he don't lie. He's very honest as a kid. Like, why would a kid know to lie? They just say what they say, and it usually hurts people, right? That's why you don't give kids swords. But the Page of Swords is talking about communication, and that communication can be very hard to receive again, or hear, or deliver. Now, with the heart of the reading, or the current state of the relationship for you, Scorpio, you have the King of Wands. So there is possibly an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius are coming around, but this may be someone else, right? Someone who you find is very attractive, energetically, like someone that's very inspirational in regards to taking action and being busy and being active. Someone that's very passionate, someone that's very authentic. This could be someone that is very ruthless, that knows what they want and they go after it, and they really don't know what, hold on a second, stop, let the universe do what I want to do thing. They don't really understand what that means sometimes. But this King of Wands, he's mastered his ability to manifest and get things done and to do whatever he wants to do. He's very, very authentic. And I feel like what you guys want, right? The Scorpionic energy here, which is, and I know, honestly, you would think Scorpios would want to be in their energy, but that's the toughest stuff to go through, okay? Along with Aquarius, Scorpios have some serious energy, some very seriously tough energy. So, for any cross watchers that are watching, trust me, Scorpionic energy is a very intense energy. When you have Pluto as your ruling planet, and then Mars as your ancient ruler, that's a lot of intense stuff. You know what I'm saying? So with death, I think you guys may want some change. There may be some change that's desired at this time. Slow, right? But it still eliminates the bacteria, right? It gets rid of the gunk and brings in the new bacteria to begin to put some good stuff in there to be able to manifest and have goodness, or to at least make space for something new, something exciting to happen. I feel like ultimately you guys may want some change in your relationship, something to kind of wrap itself up. But there is some stress keeping the relationship from being able to change in ways that, would be beneficial. Potentially the goal is for the relationship, regardless of what you guys may want or not, is that there's change, and it could be that could be the stressful part. Because of the Hangman in the past. Now the Hangman talks about gaining new perspective, and it's like the Hangman, it requires you to release things. Before the death, there's the Hangman. So yeah, right now there's a stress, right? Potentially of a new perspective that was gained by this Page of Swords, potentially about the relationship. And yeah, it would have you stressed, especially if it's about what you guys may be feeling not so easy about with the Nine of Swords. There's a lot of stress here, especially with this energy of death. And I feel like with the Hangman, yeah, there is this need to change. There was a period of stagnancy, a bit of stuck in limbo. Somebody may not have been saying something, and then somebody dropped the bomb. Now this bomb is causing a lot of stress, and it could potentially make this change that's happening in your relationship a lot more difficult than it should be, because of what is being harbored in the mental space. This could be, you, Scorpio. This could be the person that you're dealing with, right? Maybe you're going through the change. You're passionate and ready to get through it. You're ready to just get it over with. But somebody else could be very stressed out, and they're having a hard time letting go, and it's kind of holding up this process. It could be hard, right? It could be difficult, especially, like I said, with that Page of Swords, and it's not very tactful energy anyway. It's like, You know, it's sometimes it's just it needs to be swallowed, and maybe this individual that you're dealing with, Scorpio, just can't take it. But it's not like you guys are trying to break up. I don't see any breakup energy. I do see, though, that there is this change that's very intense, and it could be like stressing the person out. There could be some stress here. You know, and it doesn't necessarily have to be someone else. It could be that you're very stressed about the energy itself. Like I said, Scorpionic energy is not an easy energy to go through. Okay, not even for the Scorpios. They make it look easy, but y'all go through the most intense stuff. Other than Aquarius, y'all go through some seriously intense stuff. Pluto being your ruling planet is a very strong energy. And of course, nothing would be given to you if you couldn't handle it, right? So, with this being said, you guys have the advice as the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles could be talking about pretty much, you know, seeing where there is lack, seeing where there is some things that are not stable in your relationship, and finding a solution. Because the Five of Pentacles, you see them, they're on a constant move. They're on a constant move. It may be snowing outside. They may have no hope, no food, no water, no shelter. There's shelter around them, right? And they could definitely be asking for help, but they know what's lacking within them, and they know that what's going to truly change their situation if they make the change and the adjustment themselves. And I feel like with this King of Swords, King of Wands energy here, which very well could be you, like I was saying, like you guys may be feeling determined to make some things happen, make some things, you know, stable again. But right now, it's about looking at what isn't there in the relationship and finding a solution to fix it. Emotionally, though, you have the World. So there is a successful completion here. You do feel like there was some sort of tying up to some loose ends, and you are really feeling that energy like in a really good way. You're getting like a good ending to a cycle. But considering how everything is, I feel like you may feel like it's in your best interest more so than anything. I feel like ultimately you guys have gotten to a point where you guys can communicate very bluntly, and it won't jeopardize the integrity of the relationship. It just means that there's some things that need to be possibly be adjusted to be able to be more balanced for you and your partner. But the World is a really good energy to have there. So that's why I'm like, this could be your partner that could be stressed out. Somebody could be stressed out. But someone could be, you know, making you even feel a little bit stressed out about the certain situation. But ultimately, you feel good about how you feel. You feel good about the ending of the cycle. And you feel like this cycle is wrapped up in a really good way. And in your hopes and fears, you have the Queen of Pentacles, which is a good card in itself, right? You guys could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but then at the same time, this could be you guys, right? Or this person that you're dealing with who's very committed. You may want to be committed in a relationship, feel very stable with this individual. You may want to feel like you're supported, and you have someone's back. You feel like you want to have someone that feels just as grounded in regards to building something with this person, okay? But I feel like at the same time, maybe this person's very focused on the money. This could potentially be why there's a lot of conflict, because, you know, sometimes with relationships, right, the reason why there's a lot of relationship issues is because of money. So it could be that there's, you know, you want to be stable in your relationship, but you want to enjoy the experience rather than just focusing on what you don't have, which could be financially. But as far as relationships go, I feel like you guys want somebody that you can rely on, someone who's got your back 100%. And I feel like you want this relationship to get to a place where it can be for both parties, not just for you, but for them too. You want to show them that that you have their back. But it's like at this time, it's like there's something that needs to be released here with this death energy in the gold. But there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of holding stuff back. There's something that's some sort of perspective that's causing this change to be very difficult for somebody in this relationship. But it's all about this, you know, this perseverance, pushing through the struggle. And, you know, that's ultimately what you guys, you know, that's what you can do. Because in your outcome here, you have the Four of Swords. And I like this. The Four of Swords talks about, you know, rest, taking a break, healing. Because this death energy is, like I said, it's very intense, very strong. It's not like a walk in the park, unfortunately. You have to kind of give yourself time and compassion. And this is even talking within the relationship as well. Maybe there needs to be some vacation between you guys, a resort, or not necessarily a resort, or just some sort of energy where you guys can totally relax and enjoy each other's company and really heal from the adjustments that's happening right now because of this truth. Okay. And I feel like, you know, it's honestly not bad, even though I said like death is a very intense energy. It's intense, but to a certain degree, right? We go through it all the time. Death happens in every aspect in our life, not just in love, not just in money or living situations, whatever. It happens in every aspect, and whatever may be held on by this individual or by even you right now, it's going to get better. That's the beauty of it, right? Death is not just death. Death is also rebirth. And rebirth is something new. Perhaps there has been some lack in energy here with that Five of Pentacles. Maybe somebody's been slacking in the relationship a little bit. Well, death is talking about rebirth as well. Ooh, reconciliation talk. Speaking of rebirth, here y'all have reconciliation coming up, which is somebody from your past is returning to your life. This could be that this person, right? Getting back that fire in this relationship. It's going to take a second though. It's going to require a little bit of patience. The King of Wands is not very patient energy here too. So, you know, for those of you that are dealing with somebody that's super impatient and just want things to kind of go, it could cause you guys a lot of stress too. It's disrupting the flow. It's like allow time to heal, right? So, yeah, but this is reconciliation. If you guys are in a relationship with somebody, this is about rekindling that fire, starting over. And I really feel like too, with reconciliation, for those of you that are not in a relationship, this could be that, you know, you may have had a hiccup in dating somebody. This is the time. This is the time where you guys can really put that, care and support and love for each other in this opportunity now to really rebuild it. Whew. Okay, so y'all get two this time. I like it. Alright, let's see what the Whispers of Love has to share for us today, this week. Alright, so the first card that comes out is Take a Chance on Love. It says, when we start to love our lives, when we start to love, our lives are changed forever. So this is Take a Chance on Love here. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. And then you have rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take breaks, and that's what the Four of Swords is all about. Nothing wrong with taking a break, nothing wrong with it. And I feel like there's just been a lot of change, a lot of things that you and your partner has been going through. And it's like you've been strong through this entire thing. But it's at the same time, I feel like it could be stressing you out even still, because it's still a progress, it's still process, it's still releasing something, and it's still something that's pushing rebirth. You felt like you've completed a cycle. You know you have. That's why I feel like death is not death in the goal energy, it's rebirth. But it's still having to carry you guys through the storm, right? You're still walking through the storm. And you guys see what's going on. You see what's lacking. It's about pushing through and persevering. And you guys can do it. You guys have come so far along anyway. Right? 9, the World. You've got so much you've been dealing with already. If like I said, the Four of Wands, that's talking about a relationship that's been established. That's something that's there. That's commitment. That's solid. That's why you guys are able to have communications that are blunt. That's straight up. They're not beating around the bush. You feel me? So, congratulations, but don't worry about it. You guys will be able to take a rest. Just focus on getting through it first, right?